We may need a couple of weeks to make it official, but boy, it really seems like last weekend's cold front is going to send Central Florida right into the dry season. So, what exactly is the dry season? Now, we can certainly still get rain in the dry season, but the daily afternoon thunderstorms and rain chances, those sharply drop. And of course, that is brought on by the start of the cold fronts. And really, what we're categorizing this as is the rain chances sharply dropping on a day to day basis, the humidity levels are much, much lower. Check, routinely characterized by dew point temperatures staying well below that 70-degree threshold. That's when that rich humidity starts to creep back in. And then, really, in order for all of this to happen, that big front, that season changing front, needs to really take most, if not all, of the temperatures below 60 degrees. That happened or got close this past weekend with a lot of us on Sunday and Monday waking up into the mid to upper 50s. The southern half of Central Florida started in the low to mid 60s. So we're basically right on schedule here, maybe a couple of days early. We're typically looking for the cool season or the dry season to start somewhere in mid to late October, really starting about the 15th through the 20th. Melbourne, it takes us a little bit later because we are a little closer to the Atlantic Ocean and our weather is a little more influenced by the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean. But one of the big things we're watching, of course, as we just showed you with the definition, the drop in the rain chances and the kind of the humidity going away and staying away. So what I'm showing you here now, everywhere you see green on this map is where the dew point temperature is 70 degrees. So for it to really stay the dry season, or for last weekend to be the official calling card of the dry season beginning here in Central Florida, we need to keep those dew points below 70 degrees, and even a bigger shot, we need to keep the sea breeze from initiating. Well, here we go, Monday, October 20th. There's an opportunity for the humidity to kind of surge for a very short time that could induce some of those rain chances rising again. But by and large, going out into the future, you see there that there's not a lot of that green color getting back on land through the Florida Peninsula. That is certainly a check for the camp that the dry season has begun. Of course, we also need to avoid tropical threats going forward because that would also characterize as the dry season not ending. That's something that we're watching for as we're, of course, still in hurricane season. But boy, the rainfall outlook over really the third week of October from the 21st to the 22nd, there it is about normal. And we really start to see those rain chances, on average anyway, climatologically speaking, begin to fall off because typically in mid to late October, we usher in the dry season. So, again, to wrap all of this up, while we're going to need a couple of weeks to really get the stamp, the official stamp on whether or not this front this past weekend is going to usher in the dry season, it certainly looks like it might be here. It doesn't really matter. It's feeling much better out there anyway, if you certainly like the cooler and, relatively speaking, drier stuff when compared to the heat and humidity that we deal with for about 6 months of the year.